Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you are listening to this. This is Coffee with Kevin, and this is my coffee. And I am Kevin Martin, a mindset coach and a hypnotherapist. Mm, mm, mm. Got good coffee this morning. I hope you have your cup of coffee, your cup of tea, your juice, your water, whatever it is that you are celebrating with me with. Okay, some slow computer processes today. So hopefully it is working well and playing well. If not, I apologize. Hey, today is March. We're in March already, March 4th. That darn month of February. It is so short. It robs us of those days that we absolutely want, we absolutely need. But here we are. Here we are in March 4th. And what day it is? It is a day of inaugurations, I guess, because Thomas Jefferson was the first president inaugurated on this day. He wasn't the first president. George Washington was our first president. Thomas Jefferson was the first to be inaugurated on this day. Abraham Lincoln was inaugurated on this day. Franklin D. Roosevelt was inaugurated on this day. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Sorry, I'm looking to the side. I'm still dealing with these technical difficulties of something. I hope it's not affecting the speed of this presentation. Anyway, here we are, March 4th. What else has happened on this day besides a ton of inaugurations? Besides a ton of inaugurations. Oh, yeah, the one thing I did want to mention, the 1922, the first vampire film, Nosferatu, which I believe came out again, um, unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula came out. Even in the early 1900s, we loved horror films, we loved vampire films. It's just incredible. And I'm looking for, I guess, that's it for, that's it. That's very, very noticeable for this. Sir Charlie Chaplin, um, his debut as a silent screen star was on March 4th. No, he was finally honored. Sorry, I read that wrong. In 1975 for his screen star stardom. He was a silent star. He did kind of comedy things and he did these flicks and stuff like that. So it was really cool. So today, what we want to talk about is inspiration. And what I want to talk about today is quotes. And I'm going to show you this book. It's called The Interpretation of Quotes for Business Success. Now, this is by a good friend of mine, Tom Livy. Tom Livy's from Massachusetts. We've known each other for several years. And this got published recently. Again, The Interpretation of Quotes. And those of you that know me, and those of you that listen to this before know I love quotes. I always have quotes on here. And in my first two books, I had quotes throughout the entire book, not only at the beginnings of the chapters, but spread out throughout the entire books. I love quotes, they inspire me. And I'm hoping they inspire you too. I am hoping they inspire you too. Anyone live on chat yet? Not yet. We're not live on chat yet, but hopefully we will be soon. Um, Here we go. The first quote, and I'm not going to put them down as a ticker tape item here, but the first quote I have for you is by Michael Jordan. We all know who Michael Jordan is. Some people want it to happen. Some people wish it to happen. Others just Make it happen. And that's right. He's talking about, okay, it's not just thinking about the things, it's executing, it's actually going out and doing it. And that's a big thing that stops us a lot of times. We have these ideas, we have these dreams, and we don't do anything about them. We just dream about them. And that's not enough. You have to start out doing something about it. Matter of fact, I will tell you where you start. First, you start by writing it down, whatever it is that you want. You write it down. That's the beginning of taking anything from a dream to reality. Is writing it down. Here's a quote. Here's a quote, Kevin Martin. Taking anything from a dream to reality is by writing it down. The first step. Okay. Got another one. Vince Lombardi. I don't quote too much with sports people. I just quoted about Michael Jordan. Vince Lombardi was a famous coach, and he says the difference between a successful person and others is not the lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather the lack of will. The lack of will. The will to actually start out and go for what what you want, what you're looking for. It's the lack of that will. Okay, I got a few others. There's one or two others that I had. A lot of sports coaches, a lot of sports stars. Venus Williams, incredible, incredible tennis player with her sister. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. That's what makes you a winner right there. Starting off by believing in yourself. Now that's a problem a lot of us have is we don't have much belief in ourselves. We don't think too much about ourselves and our abilities. And Venus Williams tells us we have to start out by believing in ourselves. That alone makes us a winner. Okay. Now let's get into the inspirational. That was all sports. Let's get into the inspirational. Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, who I got to see, I got to take several classes and workshops from, and he's one of my heroes. He's one of my heroes. He's the one that brought NLP, to the mainstream, using it to help literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people. The secret to success is no secret. It's called work your ass off and find a way to add more value to people's lives than anyone else does. Now with Tony Robbins, he's got all these techniques and all these things. So you'd think he'd have these secrets. And he's saying plain and simple, work your ass off. Okay? Find whatever it is you want, whatever you dream you have. Believe in yourself, in your ability, and then start doing it. That's all the quotes so far. And do it to the full extent you can. That's work your ass off. That's incredible. Let's see, I got a couple more Zig Ziglar, who was my absolute favorite. He's my mentor. I had seen him several times when he was alive. I've just about read all his books, listened to so many hours of audio of his. You cannot tailor make situations in life, but you can tailor make the attitudes that fit those situations. And he's right. We have no control over the situations or the things that happen to us, but we have control over our minds, our state of mind, our attitudes that we go there for. A lot of us, we just react. A lot of us, we just react. And that reaction usually is not very positive and it's not very serving. But if we can control our attitude to make it serve us, we can get through any situation. We can get through any situation. He's all about it. You have no control over anything else but the way you react. And it's true. And when you control the way you react instead of letting it control you, that's the big difference. That's the difference between the winners and the people who don't make much out of their life and are not happy. Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn actually was the inspiration for Tony Robbins. When Tony Robbins was just getting started, he decided to follow Jim Rohn around, attended a lot of seminars and talked to him personally, and he was mentored by Jim Rohn. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. Isn't that what we hear from most people? Oh, this didn't happen because. It's not because of the wonderful things she does. It's the excuses we have. Now, Tony Robbins says this. This is something I absolutely believe in. Setting goals is the first step into turning the invisible into the visible. The invisible being your dreams that's in your head. Setting goals, writing them down is the first step. Is the first step. And Stephen Covey, the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, wonderful book in its time. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. That is when people go from the effect side to the cause side. The cause side being taking responsibility. A lot of us are on that effect side, that excuse side, right? This happened to me. That's why I'm like this. When we start to take responsibility, like Stephen Covey says, when we start to when we start to see that we're a product of our decisions, when we know that we decided that we're here. And then when we know that, when we realize that, and that sounds like blame, but it's not. When we realize that we are the product of our own decisions, that's when we can say, okay, then I can start deciding differently. Then I can take control. Because if I'm responsible for where I am, I'm also responsible for where I'm going. Once we realize that, we can take control. Wayne Dyer, who I listened to a lot of in the late 70s and 80s, be miserable or motivate yourself. Whatever has to be done, it's always your choice. Again about choice. We think we have no choice. We think we don't have any part in our destiny sometimes. Oh, I'm like this because it's that because again. No, no. It's always our choice. And if we don't have the choice in what has happened to us, we certainly have the choice in how we react. Tony Robbins again. There is a powerful driving force inside every human being that once unleashed can make any vision, dream, or desire a reality. This is inspiration. This means every human being, we all have that. We all have these ideas and these wants and wishes, but we can bring them to reality. We can bring them to reality. And I'll say again, the first step in bringing your dream to reality is by writing it down. It's the very first step. Zig Ziglar again. I'm reading the whole inspirational part or motivational part of this book here. Again, let's see. The interpretation of quotes. If people like you, they'll listen to you. But if they trust you, they'll do business with you. This is, if you're going to make a dream come true, it probably has to do with starting out your own business of some sort. But it doesn't matter even if it's not a business. If people like you, they'll listen. But if they trust you, they'll do things with you. They'll do things with you. Jim Rohn again, the same wind blows on all of us. What matters is not blowing of the wind, but the set of the sail. And instead of the sail is the direction we go. We got the same wind on every single one of us, the successful people and the non-successful people. And it's the successful people that set their sail in the right direction. Another zig. I love it that Tom included so many Zig Ziglars. People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. Yes. Yes. And motivation doesn't last. You go get motivated, you read some wonderful quotes one day and you get motivated. You go to a seminar for a day, you get really motivated, but it doesn't last. You have to keep it up. You have to keep yourself inspired and motivated, and that comes through books, that comes through audios, that comes through attending lectures, workshops, seminars, listening to all sorts of things. We have the internet. We can 24/7 keep ourselves motivated if we're looking at the right stuff. And that's what we have to do. Tony Robbins, every problem is a gift. Without problems, we would not grow. And absolutely, that's also one of my favorites. Every problem is a gift. We have problems all the time. We have challenges all the time. Instead of thinking them as problems as, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? You think of them as gifts. Okay, how can I get over this? How can I deal with this in the right way that I'm going to get over? I'm going to get to the other side. By the way, we have gotten to the other side of every single problem, issue, or challenge that we've had in our life. We have. Larry, if you're still here, you hit the market today. That's right. If you're still here, Larry, thank you for being here and thank you for being in my life. You're truly a great friend. And you are and have been many times an inspiration to me. Sometimes we have people in our lives that are inspirational. Keep them in your lives. Try to inspire them at the same time. It's just wonderful to have them. Yeah, cool. You're still here. Um, it is just I can't say enough about being inspired and about being motivated. It's gotten me to where I've gotten time after time again. And I was talking about we all have challenges. And we've gotten to the other side of all those challenges. Maybe you have some today that you're dealing with. You will get to the other side, just like you have a bunch of other times. Now, how you get to the other side, how you land on the other side, depends on how you react, how you look at the challenge. If you look at the challenge as a learning thing for you, go for it. I said this before. My wife and I, when we adopted three children, and the first one, he had so many problems that he came with, and mental, emotional problems from a lot of abuse that he had as a very young child. And going through our journey to help him and be staying committed to him, by the way. We told him this was his forever home, and we didn't want to change that. Even though he had to go to places where they were supposed to help him, we were always there for him. And at that time, it strained our marriage. And we actually said this to ourselves: if we can get through this, we will be much stronger for everything that we're going through and everything that we learn. And we were. When we got through that, we were much stronger. It was just so incredible. So I hope this has inspired you. And if it has, listen to it again. I had some great quotes. And if you want to read some really great quotes, especially if you are looking to get inspired, The Interpretation of Quotes for Business Success by Tom Libby. I was going to say Thomas. He's also known as Thomas Libby. Again, a really good friend of mine and an inspiration a lot of the times. Tom just helped me make a wonderful decision for company name. It's a former company name that I was using, Center for Next Level Performance. I had given it up when we dissolved the company, but he said it's a great name. I've kept the domain, kept the website. And it's just over a nice conversation where he inspired me. Find that inspiration in your life. Find the motivation in your life and grab it. All right. Until next week, this has been a lot of fun. This has been inspiring for me to be able to do this for you. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Make it that wonderful and fantastic day. All right. Bye bye. See you next week.